Hey there, everyone. It's Cooper, and it's Monday. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If you were in Texas or anywhere near Texas, I hope you stayed cool. It was 1,017 degrees outside this weekend here. Cheers, Mama. Good to see you. But yeah, so we stayed inside and did a lot of stuff. Before we get rolling, though, I'll always have to remind you of this. By the way, today we're doing something extra special. For the first time ever, I'm also broadcasting live to YouTube. I think I have 17 followers there. So if you're one of those 17 followers, I hope that you're enjoying this. And if you're not following me on YouTube, I post stuff sporadically there. I've got the story about getting trapped in Spanx there, though, so you might want to go check it out. So in the meantime, go to coopedup.com and sign up for my email updates. I'm going to be sending out some stuff. My anniversary's coming up, and I was thinking about sharing some photos with y'all from our wedding. How about that? So if you want to see those, go to coopedup.com, and a little screen will pop up, and you just give me an email address. I won't spam you. Just another way for us to stay in touch. And if you're on the gram or TikTok, actually, even though I don't know shit for shit on TikTok, I signed up for it. That is my screen name. I'm Cooped Up on Instagram and TikTok. And then on YouTube, I think it is I'm Cooped Up also. I try to keep them pretty consistent if possible. So anyway, like I said, I hope you're doing well. This weekend, we did all things indoors because it is that time in Texas when it is 1,017 degrees outside. And you don't want to go outside for fear of melting. So we have a pool even, and pretty much our pool doesn't get used in July and August because it is so hot, and the water even heats up. The water heats up to like 85, 89 degrees, something like that, which is cooler than the air temperature, but it is not refreshing at all. So we use it a lot more kind of on the shoulder seasons of summer. So anyway, let's see. By the way, do you see the zit right there? That was something that popped up this weekend. I'm 45 and a half years old and getting zits still. Didn't know that was possible. I always get them in the same. That actually is a pretty common spot for me. And then I get one right here also. And then I get one like right here. So I think I just have some pores that get clogged and all of that business. So, and Peter is joining and he says, just starting to have a martini. I'm a little low. I normally do my Olive Garden pour of wine. But this is all the wine we have in the house, and I'm actually trying to take it a little easy. I didn't drink last night. I only had a couple of vodka sodas, so no wine last night, though. And by the way, my new scarf, my new bandana here, for some reason it will not sit straight on me. It keeps going to like this Mr. Furley thing, so maybe that's part of the progression of me and whatever this COVID is turning me into. Eric is saying I was too polite to ask about the zit. That it is large and in charge, and this is already recovered. Oh, it hurt like something else yesterday because I feel like every nerve between here and my asshole are connected to this zit right now. Oh, it hurts so bad. This makes it feel better. Maybe I do that. Is that distracting if I talk to y'all with the glass against my face? And Carrie is saying every gay man in town needs some concealer. Well, I haven't had to need it, and it's supposed to be hunty. I haven't needed it, and so I think that we have some, and I may have Marie Kondo'd it because I don't use it very often. But get this. I didn't even talk about it, and I started getting ads this morning for concealer. So I don't know. I don't know how to know. Maybe Todd was Googling it because he just didn't want to look at it anymore. But seriously. And my sister's laughing, Mr. Furley. Yes, I know. Right here. That's what's going on. So one of the things that we did this weekend is that we booked all the stops between here. Well, the 2 stops between here and North Carolina for our upcoming trip to go see Nana and Grandpa, Todd's parents, the kids' grandparents. We'll be stopping in a little campground outside of Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then also a campground outside of Nashville, Tennessee. We're going the northern route, and then we'll be coming down, kind of dropping down through the Smoky Mountains there. It's going to be beautiful. Going to love it. But I'll tell you this. The Arkansas state parks are full up. Everyone is camping in Arkansas right now. So I could not get a reservation at a state park. So I had to book it at a KOA, which we don't love, but they're They're okay. They're clean most of the time. They're reliable most of the time, but you can at least book online, which that's good. So there, and then it's a private. The same with Tennessee; they're all booked up, and so we're staying at a private RV park in Antioch, I think, Antioch, Tennessee. That sounds right to me. Somewhere there, fairly new one. It looks really nice. So we'll see. Expensive. That one was expensive. It was like $100 compared to the $24 that state parks usually are. So. And Suzanne is asking, when are you going? I missed it. We're leaving this weekend. And we're going to be there for 2 weeks. Hopefully I can broadcast while we're gone. I know it throws everything to disarray. It won't be the traveling so much. It'll be the, although Friday may be affected this coming Friday. It's the internet access. So we're bringing like all the hotspots we have. I'm still looking into that Google Fi service, Fi, to see if that might work any better there, because AT&T is out in the country in North Carolina. My in-laws live near Asheville, about an hour, maybe 45 minutes from Asheville in the mountains. It's beautiful, but no connectivity whatsoever. They can't even stream movies there. Their internet is so bad. And they've tried everything. They have tried everything, and they just can't get better internet. So book those. We also cleaned the house this weekend. That is a new thing for us. The kids are not enjoying this part of the quarantine. So we fired our housekeeper right before all this went down. It had nothing to do with COVID. She was lying to us about some stuff. We kept catching her in these little lies, and little lies lead to big lies, and I just didn't want to deal with that anymore. And so that was like in February. And so we have not had another person, aside from Carrie taking about 3 steps into our house to put something on the kitchen counter and walk out, in our house since early March, actually. And so we're cleaning. I vacuumed. I got a new stick vacuum, by the way. This is something I never thought I would find fascinating. So we have like a Dyson ball vacuum, and then we have an old ass other vacuum that weighs as much as I do. And then for the RV, we got a stick vacuum, right? The Shark, I think is what it's called. And I brought that into the house, and I was using that. That thing is so easy to use. You just it's like an attachment in your arm, and you just go and you go. And I was enjoying vacuuming. I wouldn't say enjoying. Maybe that's overselling it, but it was not heavy. It was easy. It got around things. You could pop the little attachment off and get the spider webs, because we have a library that's windows on 3 sides looking out over the pool, and every spider in town loves that room. So there's spider webs. Oh, I mean, I bet there's spider. I cleaned it yesterday or Saturday. I bet there's spider webs already in it again right now, because they love the sunshine, but the air conditioning in that room. So lots of plants in there too, and it's right next to our sunroom. Gotta make this sound like it's so grandiose. It's just our house. I'll do a tour. Sarah has been asking for weeks. I don't know if Sarah's on, but Sarah has been asking for weeks for me to do a tour of the house, and I'm going to do that. Just let me get some things cleaned up. I worked on my office here, got some stuff cleaned out so I can actually, for a while it was like Hoarders. I just had a trail to my desk. This right here is the only part of this office that looked even slightly presentable for television. Everything else was like an episode of Hoarders. So anyway, that was that. Aaron is saying the day we brought our son home, we bought his parents gave him a Dyson stick vacuum. It was the best day of my life. A baby and a vacuum. How our lives have changed, right? Oh my goodness. Yes. I like the Dyson one was nice. It's really expensive though. So I wanted to do a little intro. I think the Shark one was like $149 or something on sale at Target. So we'll see. If I like it, I might upgrade. Carrie wants to know if I took the air fryer in the RV. I did. We made French fries in it. I think we made bacon in it. And we just plug it in outside. We don't put it in we have a little table up that we bring with us, plugged it in out there next to the grill. Just got it going, cooked it up outside with the air fryer. It's great. It's big, but it was good. So let's see. Who else? What are we gonna say here? And Suzanne is going to their beach house on Saturday for 20 days. So excited for cooler weather. Yes, in Oregon, I believe, right? Or Washington. One of the two. I think it's Oregon. But it sounds beautiful. I love it. And Carrie has had a Dyson for 15 years, and it's on the list of things I'd grab during a fire. My Louis Vuitton, my Gucci, and my Dyson. So we have a Dyson ball vacuum, like the roller one. I just needed one. I didn't want to move furniture and I needed to get under stuff. It goes completely, this thing goes flat. Like I can put it down and it goes all the way under like armoires and stuff. It was amazing. And I cannot believe I've talked this much about a vacuum cleaner. This is 2020. You have fucked my life up, girl. And what else? Oh, we made some of that New York Times mason jar ice cream this weekend. So this is all the rage right now. Carrie talked about it a little bit the other day. There's this like, it's like a simple like 4 recipe. It's heavy whipping cream, sugar, a little bit of salt, and some vanilla extract. And then we added chocolate syrup to one of them because we made 2 batches. And you put it in a mason jar and you shake it for 5 minutes, vigorously for 5 minutes. By the way, 5 minutes is a long ass time to shake anything vigorously. I was spent. The kids were spent. We started making a dance out of it. I need to make like a TikTok out of that. That was crazy. And then you freeze it for a few hours and then you try it. So here's the verdict. The vanilla was no good. Vanilla was just bland, bland, bland. Not good. Also, we have the recipe, so I think that it got really hard and kind of like flaky. I think if we would have had the full recipe, it would have been creamier maybe. And we may have overshaken it as well because it was half the recipe. So the chocolate was good, though. We just squirted a bunch of Hershey's chocolate syrup in it. The Hershey's was good. But you know what? You can buy the Happy Belly ice cream from Amazon Fresh for $2.50 for a little tub of it. I'm going to stick to that. We're not going to be making New York Times mason jar ice cream anymore. It was fun. The kids kind of enjoyed the idea of it. They liked the mixing part of it, and then it was lost. And when the ice cream wasn't that great, they were kind of like, what was that about? So, but that's one of the things we tried. Science lesson for everyone. Science lesson. Sandy just made a peach pound cake from the New York Times. Yum. Oh, I love peaches. I love them so much. They are so good. What else did I do this weekend? I'm looking at my list here that I made, and it's kind of all over the place. I deleted a bunch of photos from my Apple devices. And get this. I'm sorry, I'm opening this one. So I deleted photos from my Apple devices. You know, they all sync up with each other and all that stuff. Boy, howdy, I have got a lot of stuff on my devices. I always buy the highest setting. So if the iPhone comes in 52 gigabytes, 104 gigabytes, and 256, I'll buy the 256, whatever the numbers are. I always buy the highest because I don't want to run out, and it's only like $100 more each level you go up. And so here's how many photos I have on my devices, or had when I started. I have not finished yet. I had 24,116 photos. 24,116 photos. My God, I have 2,130 videos. 2,130 videos. Get that this is embarrassing and impressive at the same time. I have 1,489 selfies. Selfies of me. 1,489 of those. And then get this, 3,755 screenshots. And that's how I assume everyone does this. That's how I remember things. That's how I come back to it. Well, I don't ever come back to it. I think I'm going to come back to it. I just take a little screenshot of it so I remember it. It's on my mind. I do it a lot. Also, I take a screenshot and forward things to people. And now it gives you the option to delete the screenshot instead. It used to be you had to save it and then send it. So I think that's cut down on it a lot. But yes, so that is a lot of shit. And I'm still going through it. Not even with the fine-tooth comb, just like real like old client stuff I have on there, like photos from groundbreakings and things that I don't need anymore, that I either know are saved elsewhere or I could care fucking less if that building burned down. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my eyes. Oh, the allergies around here are so bad too. And Donita is saying, we're going to do that this weekend with my boyfriend's son. We'll revamp that recipe. So if you look up the recipe, it actually has other options in it for like gussing it up. Peaches, or there was a green tea version of it that looked great. Or maybe it was Earl Grey. I don't remember which. It was a tea version that was like strawberries. I only had enough heavy whipping cream. It takes a cup per mason jar, and I only had like a cup and a half. So we had to kind of fiddle with the recipe also. And Carrie's been dying to make a peach crumble or crisp. Got leftover peaches in the freezer from last summer's haul. Well, you know where my kitchen counter is, girl. And you know I'll let you step 2 steps in if you're leaving treats. So, and Carrie, Suzanne's saying she screenshots everything too. I bet you got a lot as well. When I do it, like even media coverage and stuff, it's a lot easier. I'm horrible at making like a screenshot on my desktop computer. So I will just do it on my iPad because it's just as big. The screen is as big as my laptop screen also. And then I can send that to people as well. So I do that a lot. Did I see that LA and San Diego public schools are going 100% virtual to start the school year? Still no word on what DISD is going to do. That is true. There's still 4 weeks left though. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. What else did I do this weekend? Oh, we filed taxes. That's the other thing. Taxes are due. What is today? The 13th? Yes. So they're due the day after tomorrow. That's the new extended deadline. So we did our taxes. They were mostly done. We just hadn't kind of fiddled through them and hit send on it. But here's the thing that got me wondering, and I posted this on my personal Facebook as well. You know, all these people, let me rephrase that. So here we file our taxes. When you file your taxes, you send your full last name, your social security number, which by the way, the government issued to you at birth, your addresses, your children's names, your employer, your investment information, your bank account information. They have all this stuff. And yet people are worried that the government is controlling us with a little piece of fabric to keep us from spitting on other people. That doesn't make any sense. People are not thinking. And that leads me to, I am so tired of everyone being outraged about every single thing. Everything doesn't need to be an outrage moment. Everything. Now there are things going wrong that we can say, hey, we need to make it right. But in those cases, I still don't understand the outrage on the opposite side of it. For example, the Washington Redskins changing their name. I'm seeing people losing their mind over this. People in Dallas saying, I'm never going to watch them again. Well, how much did you fucking watch them to begin with, first of all? Secondly, they'll say, well, I don't know anyone who's offended by it. How many Indian, Native American people do you know? Probably not that many. So no wonder you don't know that many people who are offended by it. It's sort of just like the Black Lives Matter stuff too. All this police brutality has been going on for ages. We're just now hearing about it because we have camera phones. Same with the Washington Redskins. That name, and by the way, one of the 2 high schools I went to, they were the Donna Redskins, and I'm seeing people losing their minds on the alumni page for that as well. I actually had to unfollow the page because I was just so sick of it. But people are like, I just don't understand. It's not been a problem since 1933. Well, that doesn't mean it's not wrong. That just means it's been that way since 1933 and people are finally listening. It only took 90 years, 95 years. Oh, so, and Mike is saying the best thing about being on the coast for over a week was never watching the damn news. Let me tell you, I'm on a news diet for the most part. I only kind of see what people put in my Facebook feed lately because I already know who I'm voting for. I already know most of what's going on. I keep up with the things I need to keep up with and all that. And Dave, Facebook recognized you as a top fan. Congratulations. Welcome. Not sure what to do with that information. Celebrate. Cheers. Ching. So the wine I have for the night, by the way. Might switch to vodka LaCroix in a minute. And Suzanne saying our beach house is located on an Indian reservation, and believe me, they are offended by it in Washington, mind you. So I mean, yes. And again, why does it if they're choosing to change it and other people have been offended by it, like, why are we getting mad about it? Like, first of all, it's private. It's a private thing. It's not like Washington State is changing its name, right? And didn't we already change the name of the mountain there also because the mountain was not named after the Indian who was first up it. Instead, it was the name of the white guy who went up it first or something. Mount Rainier, is it still called that? Or maybe, no, I'm thinking of the one in Alaska. Never mind. They changed it back to the Eskimo name, not the, are we allowed to say Eskimo? Actually, I don't know. Sorry if I'm not supposed to say that. Anyway, to the native name and whatever, Denali. Isn't that the one? I don't remember. Anyway, this is news-ish. I always say news-ish. What else did I see over the weekend? Let's see. Let me see. Go down the list here in my thing. Oh, I saw the BBC reported that the Vatican. Oh, Kathy is confirming it's Denali. That is the one I was talking about. Good. Yes. My high school and college history stuff has not failed me completely. So BBC announced, they did a story about the Vatican tours, and that the Vatican has been back open for a few weeks now, and they are doing it at, instead of 4,000 people an hour, which is their normal rate, they're doing only 400 people an hour, which still sounds like a hell of a lot of people to me, but it looked like a private tour. We did a private tour when we were there. You had to be there at like fucking 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. You got in before everyone, but you could hear like the crush of the crowds coming down the corridors behind you. And by the time we got done with the tour, they were starting to catch up to us. But this Vatican, so 400 instead of 4,000 people an hour. So letting people, that sounds, I mean, if you're going to go to the Vatican, that sounds lovely. Although if you're an American, they're not letting you in, I don't think. I saw that they turned away a private jet even, like in Sardinia. No, does that sound right? I think that sounds right. Or Sicily or one of those places. And one of those S places, you know. And the other thing about the Vatican, I say this every time, and I think I probably told y'all this before. That was the gayest place I have ever been in my fucking life. And I have been to some gay places. It is like Liberace and Elton John decorated it, and then the Pope came in and said, nope, we need more penis. I mean, there are penises everywhere in that place. There's just drapery. There's just so much stuff going on there. It is crazy. And then also, there's a lot of revisionist history. There'll be a Pope who just is like, you know what? I think I would look better in that painting of the Pope from 200 years ago. So paint me on that horse instead. Just paint me up there. And so there's pictures of popes that weren't even alive when the things happened that they're painted into. So it is crazy. Carrie is saying Eskimo Pie was retired on June 20th. So I think the term is out too. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah. And then Susan Ditto, I can't see the link. Susan has put a link in the things about a Washington thing. And on second thought, Washington Ocelots has a nice ring to it. I'm just reading the link, so I can't see the articles. So, and then Dave is accusing me of penis projection. When I do the grand tour of my house, you will see that there is not a lot of penis. There are 3 penises in this. Well, 4 if you count the dog in this house, and that is it. And Susan is talking about changing their name to the Ocelots. That sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds better than a lot of the names I've heard already. And then Danita is saying, blah, 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 changed the name from Redmond to Riverhawks about 10 years ago. Alumni seem to be the only ones mad about it. Yeah, I do not get it. And the football team is in D.C., not Washington State. Oh, I thought the Washington Redskins are in Washington, D.C.? Oh, I thought they were in Washington State. Oh. You know, because I follow football so closely. I literally watch the Super Bowl, and the team I cheer for is the one that has the cutest costumes, maybe the tightest asses, but they're all pretty fine. So that is my level of interest in football. So, interesting. I was not aware of that. So Washington Capitals, isn't that a team? I thought, isn't there a Washington Capitals team about something? I think so. Anyway, what else? Oh, changing subjects. Walt Disney World also opened this weekend, and my friend Melissa is there. She's been broadcasting live from there. She's a Disney travel agent to the stars. She does ours. She does my sister's. She does a lot of other people's. And she went, and she is reporting that it is very safe. We'll see. And it is not crowded at all. I do believe that. And that she is saying that they've suspended the meal plan also. So they're trying to find all these reasons to keep people apart. And like you could ride rides over and over and over, which I believe because we saw at an amusement park, we were coming through Kansas City, and it was like 2 people on each ride. Hockey is the Washington Capitals. And I knew that was in DC, Crystal. I knew that. For some reason, I did know that. Carrie says he doesn't watch the footballs. That is true. So, what else? Oh, and the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. Well, I am learning all kinds of business on this call today. Thank you for joining. And Suzanne is asking if Melissa took her family. Yes, her husband and her 2 children are there, and the boys have been reviewing it, and Melissa has as well, and they look like they're having a good time. Now, I'm not going to go. If it weren't COVID and they kept it that empty and charged twice as much, I would probably pay to go. Because the crowd, I love Disney World. I do. The only thing I don't like is that you stand in line for an hour to ride a ride, and they're not even real rides. Half of the shit isn't even like Space Mountain is a real ride. Like all those Adventureland stuff are real rides, but half of them, you're just sitting in a clamshell watching a reenactment of The Little Mermaid. And I can do that at home. I can just watch the damn movie. And I certainly don't need to wait an hour for that. So anyway, and then what else did I learn or hear about or whatever this weekend? Follow this under people are so fucking stupid. Reuters reported, and I'm writing it down. Reuters reported, because obviously it's catching up. There's a rumor going around that another reason they don't want to wear masks is they think that those metal strips, some of mine don't have it, but some of them have it, are 5G antennas meant to destroy your brain cells. I kid you not. That is an actual rumor that is going around, and it is prevalent enough that Reuters had to do a fact check on it, that the metal strip that's meant to kind of hold it down on your nose is a 5G antenna to destroy your brains. And they're claiming that in World War I and World War II, we used antennas similar to that, not 5G, but similar to kill people as well. I am like, and I can't believe people believe this shit, first of all, and then they share it, and then it gets shared. So crazy. I know, just don't, whatever. What else are y'all saying? Suzanne prefers Disneyland. It's old school and smaller. I've only been once for a private event. We went for the grand opening of Tomorrowland, the movie, and they closed down half the park, and we got to be in there with booze and stuff. I've got a video of me hammered drunken with Mickey Mouse. I kid you not. They took away my drink, though, in order to take the video, because they didn't want me to have any moon juice, is what they called it, because we were in the Tomorrowland area, or space juice, maybe. I can't remember what they called it. So, and Crystal is saying, if you think that, you have no brain cells. And Phyllis is saying, oh, Lord, don't they have a cell phone? I know. The shit people believe, and like Ted Cruz is not wearing a mask on an American Airlines flight, refuses to or something. I don't know what the gist is on that, but they're investigating that now. And then here's something else I learned this weekend that was very interesting. This is not political, even though it involves a political person. I'm going to just put a disclaimer on that. Did you know that Joe Biden suffers from a stutter? I did not know that. He has fought a stutter his entire life, and it's like a really bad stutter, supposedly. And part of the reason, like when you see him speak, sometimes he just kind of stops mid-sentence, or he seems to kind of look away and daze off, go into a different place, is that he is trying to reclaim his speech pattern. I read about that, and I didn't just see this in one place. I Googled it to make sure that this wasn't just some sort of like liberal media thing, as people call it. I don't believe that, but so I did, and it was in like the Stuttering Institute of America. That's not the actual name of the organization, but whatever the organization is called, that he has like a really, really, really bad stutter, and he has worked very hard to overcome it. And it's been recorded for years. Like, it's not just a new thing that they're talking about it. So I found that fascinating. There's like what was the movie, The King's Speech? I think The King's Speech is what it was. Very similar thing where the king had a stutter and didn't want to speak, and radio was invented, so suddenly he had to speak to people. Is that what that movie was about? I think that's what that movie was about. It's been so long since I saw it. I remember it was like Colin Firth in it or something like that. But anyway, I found that fascinating that he has a stutter. And if he gets elected, again, this is not a political thing, but if he gets elected, what a wonderful message that will send to children and adults who suffer stutters as well. I have many friends that do. So I think that was a very sweet thing I saw. And Susan is saying, yes, that movie is called The King's Speech, and it's great. Good, good. Well, that's all I got today, and we're hitting it like right on the nose. So anyway, with that, I am going, y'all have asked a lot of great questions. Thank you. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for joining. I do this every weekday at 4:15. Hope you will join us because we are streaming now on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And let's see, real quick, throw up the banners. If you haven't signed up, go to coopedup.com, get my email updates. I don't spam you. At this point, I've sent one. So it's not going to be a super regular thing, but it's just to keep in touch with you, maybe send you some inside track kind of stuff, all of that. And then if you're on the gram, also I should update this TikTok and all of the others. That is how you get me. I'm Cooped Up is the handle there. And with that, I will see y'all tomorrow at 4:15 because it's Tuesday tomorrow, right? Yeah, we made it through Monday. Way to go, guys. So I love you. You are loved. It's important to know that. And I love that you watch this. It's cheaper than therapy. This helps some too. Don't shit yourself to death. Just stay away from people. The only thing you should be doing is wearing a fucking mask if you go in public and staying away from people. If you go in public, staying away from people, even if you don't, just stay away from people. It also helps with that whole murder, suicide, and domestic abuse thing. If you just stay away from everybody, you don't have to worry about those things. But don't commit domestic abuse. Don't commit murder, suicide. All those things, just chill out. We will be okay. Even if we don't know what's happening with the kids yet, there's still 4 weeks, 5 weeks, depending on where you go to school. Before school starts, a lot can happen between now and then. 4 or 5 weeks ago, we thought we were coming out of this. I'm not going to say it's going to get better, but we at least might have something figured out. Just breathe. You will be okay. And what else? With that, I'm going to say bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:15 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Love y'all. Bye. How do I turn this damn thing off? Bye. There we go.